Hey, what's shaking YouTube? This is the Angel of Authenticity, your politically incorrect Christian, from on top, the motorcycle shop. And what do I say? That's my new thing. You like it? I've been trying it out. I'm doing my chores, so don't mind me. I'm trying it out, though. The politically incorrect Christian. I mean, it sounds kind of janky and new age, and like, trust me, there ain't nothing new age about me, brah. Except for the bra, maybe. Except for, hey, Hawaii. I'm jealous. I'm jealous because it's so warm there, but you know what? I would be there already, but I can't figure out how to get my motorcycle there. That's kind of why I'm not, like, somewhere else besides Indiana, USA. Which is literally out in the middle of nowhere. Which is a beautiful thing. But I would love to be in, like, I don't know, New Zealand or something. Something different to try it. Not that I want to get swept up in that, like, mystery of being a traveler. Like, I don't know. I don't want to be swept up in the tourist aspect. I'm a really real down-to-earth person. When I go to a city, the first thing I do is hide any of my valuables that is, like, obvious, you know? Like, I'm not pulling out cigarettes left and right. That's the currency in a big city. If you smoke, then you know that. You know, it's like pulling out any money at all, like, oh, excuse me, do you have a dollar? Do you have a dollar? Do you have a dollar? Oh, excuse me, do you have a dollar? And so many people really need that dollar, man. Like, they're being crowded into these cities at the central part of it, where all the rich people are, and all the developers are, to say, oh, look, the homeless is becoming such a problem. And they shut off the internet, and they shut off the Wi-Fi. That was free before. Like, it's actually, I know people that paid to go out of their way to make sure that they weren't giving out a signal, which I don't even know how that works. But that's pretty janky, pretty effed up. I mean, I'm going to try to watch my language on these videos because I do want to monetize eventually because I'm a sellout. And I have hopes and dreams to fuel too. So anyway, I'm going to try to watch the language. I'm not guaranteeing it because, like, I literally said that 3 videos ago on episodes 4, 5, and 6, and literally, the F word came out of my mouth. I don't know how many times. I haven't counted, but I know that it doubled in rate from the other videos. Because I was like, more like, oh, I'll just be like demure. I'll be feminine. And this is what femininity looks like. I don't know if you all know that out there. You want to know what a girl looks like? This is what femininity looks like. So, anyway. And, well, I get people attacking that all the time because I have to gear up on my motorcycle, and I feel like a dude, you know, and they know I feel like a dude probably. But you know what? I can get all my makeup on and go outside and sit in the woods at the middle of the night all by myself and be just as cool. I feel just as beautiful, so it doesn't really matter to me, and I don't let that bother me, but, like, that's the way the devil will attack you. They'll try to accuse you of being too manly, or... And then the guys that are intimidated by your strength will say that you're too feminine, you know, or not feminine enough. They want a girl in high heels and a skirt. But then you show up in high heels and a skirt and a beautiful dress, say, all done up with your hair done and everything, on your motorcycle, and their mind is blown. You know what I mean? So, like, they have to go home and repair anyway. Their system needs rebooted. There was an update that they must not have got, you know, or they ignored. They didn't know what they were doing. And they're like, oh, yeah, scroll, scroll, scroll. Oh, no, update, I'll just ignore that. You know what I mean? What happens? We all know. Well, some of us know. What happens when you ignore an update for too long? I learned the hard way. I was like, no, I don't ever update my shit. It'll mess it all up. Well, yeah. My world right now, the way it is, especially at the rapid rate that it is, the information highway, my shit won't even turn on. You know what I mean? If I don't keep my shit security updated. And I just got basic low-level stuff because 9 times out of 10 it's the security companies that are providing all the fraud for you. Which means the federal government. Yeah. Literally, I just signed my friend up, my roommate, my companion, whatever you want to call John. His name's Three Fingers Johnny, to give you an idea. So he's like, oh, no, government, you know. Literally, this feller... He's from the East Coast originally, I think. I don't know. I mean, I've only known him to be here, but, like, he's been here for about 20-something years. I met him right when he was building this place briefly, you know, just as, like, a pop-in with another friend. So fast forward 20 years, you know? He can get his retirement now. And so I got him his retirement, and literally 2 days after I put in that retirement application, now he can't be found by the devil himself, you know? Literally, the mafia couldn't find him, you know? His name is Three Finger Johnny, so, I mean, they let him live. Anyway, I figure, you know, like, it ain't my business. I'm just teasing about that. He's a mechanic, and, you know, that happens sometimes. Off with your fingers. But it sounds kind of cool, though. Yeah, my roommate, Three Finger Johnny. Anyway, I can carry on with it, but I'm not going to. So anyway, literally 2 days after I put on his application, and it says, oh, you can't do it. You'll go to jail even if they notarize it and say you can and sit on top of your head and have their dick in you when you do it. Like, it don't matter. It says, you will go to jail if you're not their person because they want your facial scans while you're doing the application online. They want your voice signature when you call. So, like, if your buddy's in jail and you got to have a dude call, and with a notebook, like, everybody's been there. Like, if you haven't been there, then, like, you know what? You don't know what the struggle is. You obviously are part of the team. That's all I got to say. Get a good look in the mirror. I don't care what you do in life. If you've never had to do this, you're one of them. So yeah, notebook out, you got all the information written down, like every possible question is answered right there in that notebook, so you don't got to like coach them, as I was accused of doing one day because he couldn't understand the lady. He's like, I called my local office and you're not even speaking English, like, so I'm trying to tell him what she's saying, and then she yells at me for coaching him. That wasn't Social Security, that was his bank, but like either way, I was like, listen lady, I'm on your side here. I'm trying to keep you from getting yelled at and complained about, you know? I'm just simply the mediator, a translator, an appointed designee. Like, I don't want no part of this. I just want it to be done and his stupid card to be unlocked so we can pay the bill, you know? Whatever. And then if the bill's still not paid, you still got to get on and go through all the other bullshit at the next place. It doesn't want to take your money. Like, oh, you're not the account holder? We're not going to take that money. Say what, nigger? Say what? And I don't mean no racist disrespect. Like, you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the janky-ass devil. That's who I'm talking about. That's who I call that. So if you don't know my content, I apologize for that. I'm trying to watch the words. I forgot. So, yeah. You got this, like, decrepit old lady on the phone saying, you can't pay your electric bill. Now what? You get shut off in 34 minutes. And that's me doing a favor to you. I'll make them go the long way over to your house. When they shut it off at the office anyway now. Like, hello. Okay, anyway, though. Let's get off track. 2 days after I put in a Social Security application. Now, I gotta say, his retirement was approved, like, super fast. It wasn't in 2 weeks before they were trying to stuff it in the bank account that wasn't going to take it because they're all in cahoots, no doubt. Now, the next guy that had all of this stuff all in mind and didn't know that they used another state's routing number on your checking account, like, what is that? We live in a state. And there's 2 routing numbers for this state. The north one and the south one. But they don't use either one of them. And it's not anywhere in their literature at all. You'd have to have the original pamphlet they gave the dude fucking years ago when he opened up his account. Like, good luck with that. You know, I lose a sock just walking to the bathroom sometimes for years. So, like, but any other bank you could look up, like, okay, what's this bank's routing number, blah, for this part of Indiana, or this branch. Boom. You'll have every routing number in the world show up on that search. Will you get the one you need? Absolutely not. Not with that bank. And they've already been busted for some fraudulent stuff back in the day. For stacking checks. And I knew this. Somehow they were doing it. And I closed my account with them when I was running the junkyard, man. And I was bringing in a lot of stuff to them. And it was nothing but problems. And it was like always bouncing. I was like, I had a lot of kids, you know. I don't get credit for a lot of the things I've done in life, and I don't do it for credit, so it doesn't matter. But, like, we were killing it, you know, and we were killing it during the recession, and we barely were hanging on by a thread, man. But we were doing it the right way, and I insisted on it. And when the housing market crashed, a lot of people don't realize the gas was up to just as expensive as it was here recently, you know, up to $5 a gallon. I had a V10 that we drove, and a Ford F-350 diesel with dual tanks. You couldn't put $60 in and even get it to register on the needle, you know what I mean? You had to have $100 just to be able to go down to the ATM to pull out more money to work your job, you know what I'm saying? And you do that with a couple of infants and 3 toddlers. And 2 or 3, or at the time, the times were so hard, I had 2, 3, 5 people living with me. They didn't have no money, otherwise they wouldn't be living there with me with all them kids, you know? So like, 2 days after we put in this application, this dude's been off the radar. It says that he has had no work history since 1991. He barely has a cell phone. Like, I keep that going, kind of whatever form. He's just learned this thing, and he's learning how to YouTube now. I'm kind of corrupted him, and it's like the devil creeping into his life a little. But like, it's like, oh man, look at all the like minds out there. Isn't this great? Here, see? Oh, and he hates my YouTube playing up, and I hate his, man. Like, I said, they're fear-mongering, and he's like, oh, it's the devil that you're listening to. Like, or even if it ain't the devil, even if it is Christian, he's skeptical, like, I don't know. He likes to be fear-mongered, maybe, just like I like to, hear the enemy's plot and ploy. Like, I don't know, I'm a story writer, so like, it's like, okay, what would the devil say this story was going to go like? I'd like to know. And I do, I'm objective, they call that being a diplomat. Always been good at that, looking at both sides. That doesn't mean you gotta entertain it, you don't gotta live it, you don't gotta believe it, you don't gotta breathe it. And sometimes, you know, you could be all hardcore, both feet in, boom, until you ain't. And that's okay to be like that. Some people call it wish-washing. It's okay to be like that as long as you're not like in and out. In and then back out, you know. Nah, just stick a foot or 2 in and dabble around, then I'm back out. Like, nah, but if you stay steadfast on that fucking big old raft, with your fat ass sitting there on the side with your feet in the water and you're cooling your feet, and that's what you always do, and you never go in, and you never, you know, buy into the bullshit, either way, like, you're good. God rewards that. Because you're thinking for yourself, and you're doing what you want to do, regardless of what it looks like. And when you put money, and you put time, you know, when you put in the matrix, say, for example, you'll feel it immediately. You know, all of a sudden, instantly. Like, I think that was the brilliant thing about the whole COVID. I know it sounds crazy. Oh, brilliant, people died. Like, more people were euthanized in freaking Quebec last year than, like, they died of that, probably. Let's get real. This is the medical people. This is what medicine's doing. It's not healthcare, it's sick care for a reason, and they are euthanizing people by the droves. And if you want to argue with me on that, you could go and you could go kick rocks, because you know what? I've had too many people, like my entire life, of people taken away from me from the system that wants to either murder us or confiscate our children and make them demons. So, you know what I mean? We don't have that privilege to be able to have that right over other people, but they do. I'm just saying. Is their way working? I think not. If the government was so grand, no, it's not about a president anymore. If it was so grand, though, why is everything in our life gone to shit? Like, literally. As a collective, we got to start watching positive content. And I know this doesn't sound like positive, but I'm uplifting you. If you believe what I'm saying, it definitely probably uplifts you. There's more people like you out there. Because there is. And there's so many talented and amazing people out there. Don't lose hope and don't get discouraged. Just don't, because that's how the devil gets you and he wins. He gets in your head. They call it imposter syndrome or whatever. Like, no matter what, no matter how much you play your guitar and write songs and like write the lyrics, you're like, oh, I'm just not no good at singing it, because that's what the devil's always told you, knowing where your purpose was going. Like, I don't even really want to have to sing my songs, you know, but I don't really want to play with a band or nothing. I write alone. Like, I don't really want all the stress and having all these other people to worry about, because that's all I've ever known. I worry about me and only me, and like, I don't know what it's like to worry about a whole bunch of other people all at the same time, besides the entire world at the time. Once you start, like, naming them, like, once you name your humans, like, you're really invested in, like, man, you know? I just don't even know about that. And that's how I feel. Like, yes, they are my humans. I was accused of, what do you think, you're Queen of Sheba or something? What do you mean, you released your men? Because I was talking to a demon, man. I was like, man, this is bullshit. Like, give me my men back. And I mean it. Give me my men back. They are my men, because I'm a human. They're not yours, as a demon. One demon taking everybody's souls, like the Soul Keeper or some bullshit like that. This isn't some weird 90s flick, man. This is real life. And I have that authority because God gave it to me. He did too. People are pissed about that because I keep doing it, you see. And that's what makes me the politically incorrect Christian. See, I'm not really packaged like they figured I would be. But I'm just one of many out there that should be heard because their ideas sound better than other people's ideas. And that's the reason why I started talking to myself, and indirectly is the reason why I started my YouTube channel. Because I didn't want to go insane. I use YouTube, like if you're a very confined person in any manner, like whether it's you're on house arrest, or maybe you got a job like at a lighthouse, and you can't get out much. You know, what about them guys? No fault to their own, that's just their profession. Or a guy that's doing a prison sentence. I mean, they don't really get YouTube, but you know what I mean. Sometimes you're doing that prison sentence without the prison cell. But like, you're trapped in this world, and nobody around you that you can identify with, they don't sound like you, they don't talk like you, they don't think like you, and you know that whatever you have in you is going to cause a fight every time you expel it. This is how they gaslight you and isolate you and everything else, which is, that's great. You know, like, please isolate me and gaslight me today. Like, oh, okay, I'm not stupid, blah, 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 blah. I'm going down, okay. Hey, thanks for that. I'll see you later, though. I gotta eat some shit to edit right now, so like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that could have came quicker. Now I can do it like that fast, and now it doesn't count no more. Now they want to start picking in it again, like, ah. You know, I liked it better when I had it figured out, you know? All I had figured out was like, I don't agree with you, we don't have like minds, we're not on the same wavelength. Somebody told me once it was, in Colorado, it was called Shuba. It was like a roll that you have to do. I'm not real good at it, because I'm not from Colorado, but anyway, yeah. You have to have that. Like, people need people to relate to, and that's why, like, they say schools, oh, school's so important. What about the social skills? Like, I've known some pretty badass little children that were like raving best friends with the knitter down the road. The lady that was 74 years old, and they got along great. You know what I mean? And all that wisdom that she learned, you know what I mean? Like, that's a simple thing. So don't ever say, oh, but it's not how we want it, because we cannot corral you into one building and brainwash you all at the same time. You're against protocol, it's going to be wrong. Like, no, they're going to thrive, they're going to live, they're not going to get sick, poisoned, and be sick and tired of their life. They might pretend like, oh no, my life's fine, this is how I want it to be like this, I like to do all this. Like, no, that's why you have to pace up and down your hallway, or whatever you do, constantly distracted, because you hate your life, because of what you're allowing your soul to have done with it, you know? And now, I'm not nobody, but I am a grandma now. I mean, I'm a pretty wise lady. I've birthed 6 children, and they're beautiful children. My children, only God can send them to me. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about my children. None of them can do wrong. I don't care. None of them can do wrong. Because they're so young and beautiful, and they're perfect children by every textbook definition. Now, they wouldn't say the same about me as a mother at all. I don't know what they would say, honestly. I know their viewpoints here and there, but, like, that wasn't my doing. I never chose any of that. I wanted to sit there and suffer and hate my life with them just like they do now, you know? Or I wanted to learn with them and grow with them and do everything I was doing. And, like, I got short around the teenage years. Like, okay, now you're not going to cry too much when you got 3 to 4 teenage daughters in the house. One was a stepchild, so I say 3 or 4, but it was 4 all day. You got 4 teenage girls coming up on their time of their life, and their dad was going to take them like, Dad, okay, sure, you go to Granddad's. He's got a Kohl's card. That's what I saw. Hey, Granddad's got a Kohl's card. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Use that Kohl's card, girlfriend, and you know what? Live your life, because that's something I never got to do. And experience that part. And you'll grow at a faster rate than I will in some aspects, but like, there's so many soul level things that you just only time can give you. I mean, really, and I don't use time at all. I quit that 9 years ago. I quit the clock. It's an addiction. Time is an addiction, looking at the time. worried about the time, gotta hurry, gotta go. It's your excuse to get out of every conversation. It's an excuse not to go to conversations. It's your excuse why everything's all wrong. Think about it. Because once you get rid of that bind, and it is a bind, what do you need time for except for to go out in the world and make money for other people? And now let's say that again though. Making money for other people. That doesn't mean making your wealth and bringing people along. That's what they're doing. The people that keep you worried about not getting your bonus by punching that clock. And you call yourself Christian. I mean, really. Really. I've known people that got into horrible wrecks because they were trying to make it on time because they could not lose that bonus for the week. And their whole life was derailed from it. Is it ever that important? No. But it is that important when you got babies and you're trying to feed your family and you're trying to make it, and they keep monopolizing the electric company, and there's no rentals, and the ones that are there are janky as hell, and you're going to go to jail probably because they're spying on you. Literally, like, oh, the fear-mongering. Like, no. Actually, I have had this proof put in front of me, not once, but twice in my life, where I had a landlord hiding cameras on me, and somebody else had to tell me that. So, go get fucked about that, too. I said the bad word, but I'm doing better, though, I think, with this video. No, really. So if you don't think that that's possible, go kick rocks. Because it's happened in my life twice. Not only do I do it once, I do it twice. Almost always, it happens to me twice. It's like, why didn't I learn my lesson the first time, God? Why is this happening again? Am I just such a good candidate because I don't use law enforcement? Is it because they're all icky and pervy and gross, you know, and they want to look in the mirror and I don't have no old man? I mean, like, what is that? I don't know. It's like my underwear gets stolen from the laundromat. I don't do it at the laundromat anymore. I'll wash that shit out in a hocker in the toilet before I go to the laundromat usually. Unless I'm doing for a whole family or my children are around or something where I got to do for more. If it's just my stuff though, man, I learned how to wash that shit out of the side of the ditch and tie it to my bitch bar and let that shit dry. You know what I mean? Not necessarily exactly like that, but it certainly works like that a lot. Because of the stigma I have from my underwear being stolen at the laundromat. That's just weird. Like, imagine going to get all your clothes out and you start folding it and you realize none of your underwear is there. And it was like, that shit was already in the washer. It didn't even smell like anything, I don't think. Like, what the hell is that? It is expensive and times are hard, but twice, you know? And they were like different towns and like way different parts of my life. Like I was doing something totally different both times. The second time it was like I had washer and dryer like normal people, I guess, you know? All normal people for rural areas. You don't have no laundromats out here. I'd probably have to drive 30 miles to get to a laundromat, even to access one. It'd be at least a half-hour driving, no doubt. I'm not even sure where we have them anymore. They all shut down, the ones that we did have. The bigots out here will say it brings Mexicans. Now I swear to God, that's all knowledge just bring Mexicans into town. Like, what? They got the cleanest laundry ever, too, and they're not even using your laundromat, so now what? You know? Let's be honest. I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with all that, as usual. But, like, I have this cat right now that is just really distracting me.